As parents, we want what's best for our children. I know as a mom, I surely do. But when it comes to school meals, sometimes it may feel like decisions are made behind closed doors. How much say do families really have?
Welcome to School Food for Thought, the official podcast of the School Nutrition Association. In this special season, we're diving into the truth behind school meals, looking at some of the biggest myths out there and setting the record straight.
We're wrapping up our special season, The Truth Behind School Meals, with a conversation that puts families at the center. This episode is about voice, choice, and partnership. Because when parents get involved, school meals get stronger. Our guests today know exactly how to make it happen. With me, I have Janine Rios, Senior Program Manager at No Kid Hungry, Elizabeth Campbell, Vice President of Government Affairs and Media Relations, and my colleague at the School Nutrition Association, and Dawn Luz, Director of School Nutrition for the Coffee County School System in Georgia. If you ever asked, what can I do to help improve school food? You're about to find out. Liz, I'm going to start with you. Let's start with what's at the core of this conversation. Why is it so important for parents to have a voice when it comes to school meals?
Ooh, that's a really good question, Danielle. So, as the Vice President of Government Affairs at SNA, I can't help but go right to politics and policy and the fact that National School Lunch is funded and kind of administered by the federal government, right? And parents are voters, parents are constituents, they're taxpayers. And so it's so critical that they understand and can get involved with school meals because that will really influence the quality of the food that's going to be offered and the access that kids will have to school meals. You know, it's No Kid Hungry.
Yeah, Janine, sounds like you have something to share.
What I wanted to jump in and say is we know as an organization and just looking at statistics that there's millions of kids that go hungry every year. And so our goal as yours is to increase access to school meals. And what better way than to connect with the parents and have them be your best advocate and really promoting those school meals and helping them, because a lot of parents, we're rushing around. We don't have time to make meals or prepare meals a lot of times, and to be able to rely on the school meals is huge.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And Dawn, my question to you is, what are some of the common ways schools are already involving parents, and is there any room to grow?
I know some of the things that we're doing is trying to meet parents where they're at. You know, they open houses, meetings, activities they do at schools during the school year. And if we set up a table, display our food, the name brands we're purchasing, pictures, samples. And so parents really have that time to engage with us on a very low-key level. You know, they're comfortable and walking up and having those one-on-one conversations. And it's a time for us to showcase what we do and give the parents the trust and the confidence that you can call us and make suggestions and give us your feedback.
Yeah, absolutely. Because sometimes as a parent, you don't even know where to start.
Right. And just being at those meetings where they're already there to report card day, whatever it is, parent-teacher meetings, just having a table there where parents can just walk up and start those conversations. So when there is a problem, they know who to reach out to. They put a name and a face together.
Right. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And
Something I was just going to add, something
Yes.
that's really important. Sometimes we have a demographic that maybe is not just speaking English. Maybe there's another language that we need to bridge that gap and make sure that we have the liaison, or that we have someone on staff that can reach those parents as well, so that we can print materials in different languages and or speak more than one language so that we can reach the community, because we could be missing a whole demographic.
oh, absolutely.
That's a really good
Absolutely. And, that goes right into my next question.
Okay.
Why do you think some of the families feel disconnected from their school meal program? What are the barriers?
One of the barriers that Don mentioned is that parents sometimes feel intimidated. They're like, I don't know the school culture. Like every culture is different. So they don't know, like, can I just come in? Can I talk to, the teacher or the school meals director? So what I've seen directors do is sometimes they'll have a Facebook page or they'll have a survey or they'll have a coffee chat where they invite parents just to come on a casual level so that they can just have those conversations, build those relationships, and have open communication and
Yeah.
surveys.
Yeah, so it's funny when you said that. I am not only working at SNA and overseeing government affairs, but I'm a mom.
Yes.
And my children now are older. My daughter's 13 and my son is 16. But when they were in elementary school, I walked them to school every day. And in many cases, I walked through the school and dropped them off at the classroom. So I had a lot of interaction. I could say hi to people. But now that they're older, they go to school on their own and they participate in school meals, but I don't know what they've had during the day. And so sometimes I feel disconnected because I'm not quite as I used to be invited into the school, and as your kids get older, it's a little less common. So what I love about a thing that our element or our middle school and our high school does is that when there's a PTO meeting or at the beginning of back to school night, doing something where there's a big opportunity when parents are invited into the building to kind of showcase this is what a school meal looks like. Here's the menus. Here's how to stay connected. And in some cases, hey, do you know we work with local farmers and local connections? It's really been wonderful when a PTO opportunity or an open house opportunity kind of showcases school meals. So I think there's a lot of opportunity there for parents.
Yeah, because sometimes you feel like school nutrition, it's kind of isolated in their own like silo there. And then you mentioned something about the language, like you, Liz. I'm a mom too. I have an elementary school one and one going to high school. And over the last years, we have a Hispanic liaison. And, by virtue, although I speak English very well, I guess everybody here can attest to that. I am, by my place of birth, I'm assigned to her. And it's amazing. The information that she shares in Spanish and in English. And it's about everything, right? It's about services. It's about what's going on in the community. It's obviously about what's going on in schools, but beyond, how parents can really be supported and be plugged into that community.
And making space. So sometimes you can invite parents in, but if you don't create a welcoming space, they're going to feel like outsiders. So it's important to really have that cultural sensitivity and be able to include them in the circle. I've been to meetings where we invited parents, but we didn't think twice about, oh, let's meet them at the door. Oh, let's make sure if they come late that they have a place at the table and not around our table, because we're speaking acronyms and we're like in our lingo and maybe not even speaking that same cultural, even though it's the same language, right?
Yes.
So that's
And I
important
think
as well.
something that we did is we have interpreters that obviously don't work for school nutrition, but they work for another department. So they go out into the community and meet with the different, cultures, and having those people as our champions and giving that information and helping us build the trust. So they really serve as partners with us and almost like they work for us, even though they don't. And we also do in the summer, we ride the buses when we do our meal delivery. So meeting parents where they're at, in the community, that's another way to bring parents engaging without them feeling like they have to walk into the school building.
I love that idea. Also, if there's a health fair or any type of, fun activity that the school, even sports, if you can make yourself present and then just kind of talk to students or talk to parents and just kind of, just tell them, make that relationship connection. And that can help as well.
Take advantage of that. And I was going to ask you, Dawn, if you could share an example, because I know you are very active in your community and you do a ton of outreach. If you have an example you could share with us where a parent's feedback or their involvement helped shape the school's meal program.
We had a parent, and it really kind of caught me off guard because they were, a parent who's going to make sure their child is fed, take care of their children, But she was telling me that the only time her child eats home style meals is at school. And I was like, whoa, wait. I mean, because I grew up, my children, we had family dinners.
Sure.
But she said they're just so involved with all the sports, all the activities, that nighttime is just, it's very seldom they're all at home at the same time. So she was talking about our home style meals. And I was like, well, we need to revamp that. We need to look at our menu. So we really did. We went back and looked at our menu and added more home style options and our scratch cooking options just for those, because of the parent feedback that that's what they wanted to see on our menus. And I really didn't think about it like that until the parent brought that to my attention. So awesome.
On the other side of the spectrum, like way other side, in a school in McAllen, there was a parent group that the moms got really excited about the meals. They started taking pictures and highlighting them on a Facebook page, and that just really blew up their program. And it created so much success because the parents really loved the school meals. They were very connected, and they liked the way they looked
Yes.
and they tasted.
Yes.
And so they were your best promoters when you get them on your side.
We noticed that when we have some negative people on our social media page, we don't even have to engage. The parents engage for us. So and say, no, we know what they're doing. They're doing a great job. So it really does help with the social media.
Yeah, it's the best endorsement that you have when the parents are like, I don't want to say pick it up with fight, but they're defending you. Right. This is your concern. Say, no, don't mess with them. They're doing a good job.
Right.
Yeah, it occurs to me, I am very involved in the PTO at our middle school and at our high school. And it occurs to me that we always have teacher liaisons at our monthly PTO meetings, but we haven't actively reached out to the school nutrition director to say, we would really like you to be there. Like, have it be a reverse, like come to us so that we can coordinate with you. When parents have committed to a time to interact. So another idea could be to like make that seat at the table in a place where parents are for the school nutrition director to get feedback and to recruit folks to help.
Right.
Solicit ideas.
Right. It really helps.
One thing I was thinking about when you were talking about that as well is one way I got involved with my daughter's school was to join the School Health Advisory Council, because I was very interested and wanted to know, well, what is going on? Because what is the truth about the school meals, or what does the wellness policy look like? And how can I get involved to help or promote something that I feel is important for my kids as well? So it's one way that if you have an active shack in your district, parents can get involved. And we're always looking for parents to join. So.
Well, that's a great idea. I know we're getting close to wrapping up, so I wanted to ask advice from y'all here. If I'm a parent and I kind of want to get involved, but I'm not sure how or if I even should, what would you say to that parent that might be like trying to decide? What would you say to them?
I would say reach out to the school nutrition director, see if you could maybe go and have lunch with them or with your kid and kind of just get to know them better. If you have any questions, don't be afraid to ask or voice your opinion, because I would say working with a lot of nutrition directors, they appreciate feedback. They're always looking for feedback. So it's important to just go see for yourself. Don't listen to the rumors. Don't get scared off, but find out for yourself what's going on.
Yeah, no, thank you. Liz, from the advocacy.
Right. I'm going to answer this question a little bit different, more from, understanding that the school meals are largely influenced by regulations and federal legislation. I really think at the School Nutrition Association, what we're trying to do, we're working with members and we're educating them about what they can do. But the voice of the parent is so powerful, and we are making space for them at the School Nutrition Association. So I would say, if I had a parent in front of me right now, I'd say the one thing you can do if you care about access and the quality of the food is go to the schoolnutrition.org to take action and join our action group. Learn about what's happening in Congress, what's happening with the administration, and what you can do to make your voice heard to members of Congress and the administration.
Yeah, because I think we share the same goal, right? You want kids to eat good foods, whether you're a parent or a school nutrition professional. You're there to serve the very same purpose.
Right. Everyone wants what's best for kids.
Yes, absolutely. What about you, Dot? What would be your piece of advice?
One of the things that we do to try to encourage parent involvement is have all of our email, our phone numbers on there. And then when we're talking with parents, we encourage them to reach out when they have a complaint and ask questions, because sometimes they don't know the rules and the regs.
Yep.
So for me, it's just giving them cards with our information and saying, hey, we do want you to reach out, because sometimes they don't feel like they can unless you invite that first. So promoting all the ways they can contact us is one of the things that I would, say, give that advice to have it there so a parent does feel comfortable. And we always encourage, like, if you have a suggestion, please reach out. So inviting the parent is going to be the first thing.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think as parents, sometimes we forget that we do have a voice.
Right.
And we should use that voice because and in a constructive way, because you've heard parents complaining and this and that, but then they don't do anything, either because they don't know how to or because it's easier to complain than actually do something about it.
Yep.
So I appreciate your openness and the ideas that you all shared here, because parents do have a voice. And like you said, Liz, I mean, if you want the food to be better, we need to make sure that we're voicing that message to the people that need to hear it.
Yep.
So thank you all for being here. Really appreciate it. Learned a ton. Parents aren't just welcome in the school meal conversation. They're very much needed. Your voice can drive change and help shape healthier and happier cafeterias. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for joining us for the truth behind school meals. We hope that these conversations inspired you to see school meals in a whole new way and to be part of that movement.